Welcome to our today's session. Today is Sunday and 28th of March 2021. I'm your host, Marathip, and uh, we will discuss today two segments. The first section or segment will be of our first account of Eighth Habit book. We are discussing key ideas from the book, and we will learn today about competency and trustworthiness. And that's a part two in that series. And that's very important for today because we are uh, going to learn that the character is more important or our competency is more important. And many people, they are mostly confused in our modern life, and sometimes they have to choose character over competency, or mostly people they choose competency over character. So we will try to learn how we can keep balance and how we will have a mindset. And in the second section, after around 30 minutes, we will start our second section on anger in the connection of uh, s- series of solution with spiritual intelligence. We will do. I will not tell you the details, but I will tell you the details what we will cover in section 2 after half an hour. So let's continue our part 1, which is competency and trustworthiness. So, if you see from the first part, we learn about what is the significance of character. The character is so foundational, so root oriented dimension of any being, of any person for dealing with other people or even they on a personal capacity. The character is the number one important thing for remaining successful, truly successful. I mean, we also discussed last week about three major component about our character. The character is foundationed with integrity, maturity, and abundance mentality. And we learned last week about how integrity is so important because that makes us mature, and that leads to our new mindset, which is called abundance mentality, which is a opposite to scarcity mindset, that people start to have abundance. So that means your character is going to be more eloquent, more impactful, more influential, not only in your eye but also to your circle of influence, which is expanding outside of yourself. That we learned already. Yeah. So also we learned last week about character, that the character ethics and the personality ethics, which is more powerful, and why we should choose character ethics, and why the Stephen Covey wrote the book The Eighth Habit and the Seven Habit for only character development, which was missing from last 200 years when the Covey was start to research about why people are failing even though they have so much competency, even they have so much charming personality, but they are still failing in their life, and their organizations are also failing in many section as well. So that's why we I was concerned about that we need to learn about character. Now today, if you see this picture in my screen, that is taken from the book Speed of Trust, written by Stephen M.R. Covey, is the son of Stephen Covey, and that picture is telling us the character lays the foundation of your whole credible being, and your character is at that bottom, and on the top is competency is located. So your competency is open to everyone. How you are well in certain subject, how you have a good knowledge, accurate knowledge, how you will have a great technical skills in your area, in your field of expertise. So we also call it capabilities, or we call also skills. The skills could be the manual skills, like you are operating some machines, or you are an artist, or you good with cameras, or you good with of filing or documentation or handwriting or something, or also that relate with your mental capability, like your thinking analytical skills, your critical thinking, your frame of reference from where you perceive the different ideas and different things, or the picture which you are surrounding, you are uh, watching from different point of view. So these are the capabilities which are as important as your character. Many people choose character over capabilities or competency. I don't know what you prefer. Or many people prefer capabilities and character. They take secondary, or they give no importance, because they say character is your personal thing. I don't need to know how you have integrity, but what I need my work from you. I need my task from you. If I'm a customer, I will expect that no matter you have a great character as a seller, or as a service provider, or as a product manufacturer, I only concern how good your quality, or your how efficient your service is. That's I need. That's a one mindset. The other mindset people have, no, if your character is not good, it means that you are not mature. It means that if you are not integrated with the humanistic values, if you do not have an abundance mentality, then your service is also dodgy. Your service can also be not very well, because service and manufacturing, or your product, is the outcome of your character, what you have as a founder, as a director, or as a leader of the company. So that's there. This is a debate. So I'm asking you that what do you prefer? I give you a quick example. A solid question, which Stephen Covey also narrates in the book, and he tells that I'm asking you question is for all Zoom audience and my Facebook audience. The question is, will you choose a surgeon who have more uh, expertise, or who is more honest? Which surgeon or doctor you will choose? So there are two things. Will you choose the honest surgeon or honest doctor? Or will you choose the surgeon or doctor having a great mastery of his skill as a surgeon? So, what is your question? What is your answer? I would like to know your answer. Honest. Okay, excellent. Let's learn the other more answer. Okay. Okay. Um, right. Let me see if somebody is giving an answer from here. Okay. Okay. One of the participant, she's saying, yes, Mustafa. What your answer? We can't hear you if you were trying to answer. Honesty. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So we have couple of answer from our audience that they are prefer honest surgeon or honest doctor. Okay, let's have a look what the Stephen Covey is saying. And that question was brought in a part of incident when Stephen Covey says in Eighth Habit, when his son-in-law was giving an interview in a medical profession, and they asked a question to his son-in-law. His name uh, was Matt. So Matt was asked, and he was interviewed in a medical school, and he gave a very good answer. And he said it all depends on the issue. If I needed the surgery, I will go for the competent doctor, the competent surgeon. And if it was a question of whether to surgery needs to be done or not, then I will go for the honest doctor or honest. So is a great answer. Like, it depends on us what we want to do. If we are very sure that this I need to do surgery, then I don't need honesty to know that about the surgeon. I need an expert because it's my conviction as a person that I need to have a surgery or not. But if I know that I need a surgery now, then I need to have a competent doctor who is very expert. But if I need to know whether I need a surgery or not, or there is other alternative ways as well, I can fix my illness, or then I will ask the honest surgeon. And that's a great answer from anything, from many people. That so it's the same thing. So if you are looking for opinion or advice, then you should go for a characterful person. Obviously, we expect that they have a competency or skills as well. But if we have decided to buy the great product or great service based on competency, skills, uh, some technical great experience or background, then we will go for competency. So it's a mind blowing, and it's not very difficult thing. But obviously, when we learn about new thing, uh, it gives a reminder as well. So that is the importance of both competency and character. So um, there is a quotation from a leader in the army. Stephen Covey has mentioned the quote from him. I would ask Jenny if you can read it for us.
General H. Norman Schwarzkopf says, I have met a lot of leaders in the Army who were very, very competent, but they did not have character. For every job they did well in the Army, they sought reward in the form of promotions, in the form of awards and decorations, in the form of getting ahead at the expense of somebody else, in the form of another piece of paper that awarded them another degree, a sure road to the top. You see, these were competent people, but they lacked character. I have also met a lot of leaders who had superb character, but who lacked competence. They were not willing to pay the price of leadership, to go the extra mile, because that's what it took to be a great leader. To lead in the 21st century, you will be required to have both character and competence.
Excellent. Thank you very much. It's a great reading. So it's a very important that the character and competency both meets together and makes you credible person. Have you ever been rejected in your life by someone, whether you were very honest on that time, but other person did not trusted on you? Many people, I know myself that many times I was honest, but I was lack of some skills that the other person did not trust on me. And there's sometime I was very competent, but on that time I had a lack of character in or integrity, but still other person did not trust on me. So trust becomes a glue, and that glue is bounded with both character and your competency and your skills. And that's very important. That makes you credible person. That makes your personal trustworthiness. So many people, when they are in their personal life, they're living with husband or wife or kids, and they feel very disappointment sometimes from many people. And why? Because in somehow they either lack a character, they have missing integrity, they may have missing abundance mentality mindset, or they look like little immature person, but they were very good in competency, in certain skills, in certain technical requirement of the situation, but still they were mistrusted by their partner, they were still mistrusted by their boss or their employee for this reason. So this is the complete thing which we need to learn about how these both are important. And is in today's world, which is a 21st century, I must encourage you to build not only your competency but the character. And that's why the 7 habits are so crucial and so important, because it helps you to build your character. It helps you to leverage your integrity level. It helps you to boom your mindset towards abundance mentality, and makes you more humility, makes you more courageous, makes you more value oriented, makes you more principle driven, makes you more a person who believe in values, who is not a cultural software, the person who is run or driven by the solid integrity, very strong person. That strongness is not that how big muscle you have, or how good uh, body you have. It does mean how endurance, how the capacity of mindset you have as a strong person. Strong person is not one who is who have made the six packs in the body, or who can run more faster or in some certain games, uh, or while they are running. The stronger is the one who have more integrity, more strong character, and at the same time, for winning the credibility from other, we must achieve and learn capabilities, skills to meet that character. So, in today's world, unfortunately, in my office, in your office, or many people are rejected during the interview, or while in a first year of their commencement of the job, they were fired by HR. Either they have a poor character, or either they have a poor competency during that thing. But in our interview, mostly we hire those people who are more competent for our organization, who are good in certain things. We don't know, we don't prefer their character or integrity oriented dimension while I'm a questionnaire as a HR to my a new candidate. And that's why many people they lose the job very quickly. In USA, I was learning a survey, job loyalty, jobs loyalty with the organization is almost 90% people are lack of. So it means they don't want to work with their current employer, or they will leave eventually, because either their character is missing to attach with the requirement of the organization, or either their competency or the skill for their department is missing or will eventually run out very soon. So because of that, credibility in the personal trustworthiness point of view is not sufficient. Therefore they don't have a job's loyalty, because job loyalty is also related to your how credible you are in your eye, and then you will become credible in your employer's eye. It's the same thing happens in your spouse eye. If you are not a good husband, or if you have a poor husband skill, as a skillful person who knows how to make happy my partner, how to look after my kids, how to uh, I need to manage some need a competency to become a husband or wife or a mother or a father. It requires certain set of expectation, and you have to meet within, no matter you have a very strong character. So that's why it's very important both things at the same time. uh, but so there are some question on a page 3 on the speed of trust book. I choose, and in which the Stephen M.R. Covey, the son of Stephen Covey, he's asking four questions to ask you how you good are in to building your capacity or your capabilities. And these are here are four questions. Ask yourself now. The first question is, what the capabilities do I have that make me credible and that inspire the trust and confidence of others? That's number one question you need to ask yourself. The second question, what experience have I had or I don't had in developing capabilities that affects the confidence I have in myself? So that's again the question related with my competency, my credibility related with my skills. The third question you can ask: what impacts what impact are factors such as technology and globalization having on the relevance of my current capabilities? That's again a very good question, because every day technology is changing, and there are so many factors are directly impacting every day on me. And the last question you can ask: what is my attitude and approach towards improving my current capabilities and gaining new ones? So that's a number four question you can ask. So if you are answering it and you are taking a action according to these four questions, then it means you are meeting your competency. It means that you are raising your competency. It means that you are doing something we call in habit language, habit number seven, sharpen daksa, which means that you are continuously renewing your skills. You are continuously renewing your abilities in physically, mentally, social or emotionally, and spiritually. So that's overall we need to ask ourselves. uh, if you are familiar my some of the workshop and training classes on YouTube I conducted couple of months ago on uh, skills and values building and competency building, and especially the topics who I am type of thing. So you can visit my YouTube channel and find that useful session there. Then you will find that what how you can build and learn some skills. Uh, they are entirely dedicated um, topic on this situation, on this topic, that helping to increase the skills, and how what the parameters and what the tool set and mindset you need to build your skills. And there are hundreds of skills I mentioned there, and some of the skills I categorically discuss as well. That these skills are so important, and even on the my computer screen, there are 246 skills which you can learn and which will help you to building your competency for requirement for you, not only your personal or family life, but also mostly your or as a person as an employee or as a business person or at your work. So that's very important. In the last but not the least, that the Stephen M.R. Covey, the writer of The Speed of Trust, he mentioned about the capabilities or the competency or the skills have five dimensions: one, two, three, four, and five dimensions. These five dimensions are important for building your competency, and it is related with your competency. The number one, talent. Number two is your attitude. Number three is your skills. Number four, your knowledge. And number five, your style to do these skills. So these are the five factors which are important for your any skills at workplace or on a personal or family level. Obviously, these are itself a complete topic, but I will tell you about a quick view, and then we will finish our session for today. After your any question answer, we will do. So number one is talent. So talent is directly linked with your competency. You can ask a lot of questions about your building your talent, or finding your talent. That, like, the question maybe you can ask, what are my unique talents and strengths? Write down on this. You can also ask, what is the highest and best use of my talent, where I can use my talent, which fields or which industries, or which uh, type of organizations I can use my these talent as well. You can also ask, how can I better maximize my talent I have? And also, maximize my talent mean unleashing the potential. I can full use of my talent. uh, that's a very important, that will increase your competency. And number four, last but not least, you can ask, what talent might I have that I have not developed yet. Maybe many people are talented in many areas, but they did not uh, learn in this state. It means they did not develop that skill. So they need to join some workshop or trainings or online learning or admission in in college or university about building that talent. So then this talent will directly improve your competency. Uh, so that's very important. The second important factor about building the competency about your attitude. I must say about that this attitude I'm not referring as a arrogancy. I'm very opposed of these type of values. That the arrogancy or aggressiveness is somehow positive values. Not at all. Where what I'm referring here, attitudes to have a confidence, why you have a humility, why you have a down to earth approach. That confidence will have you and lead towards a certain attitude. Your attitude about what do you think about your work, why you are doing work, why you go office in the morning 8 or 9 o'clock, what drives you, what attitude you have about your office. The same thing about life, your attitude about learning, why you are learning. Even many people who are watching me now, why you are learning, what the attitude you have. Obviously that reflection is your humbleness, your humility, because uh, learning is directly linked with your humility, degree of humility, and most of the situations. So that's already I congratulate you that you are learning or you are sharing something in this session, or if you are watching the recording of this. So that's a great news. Your attitude is also about what do you think about yourself, myself, who I am, what attitude about yourself, what the image you have about yourself, what the self-esteem you have about yourself. So these are also very important question about attitude. What the capabilities and skills I can have or I do have, what the opportunity I can contribute as, on a personal capacity, as a religious person or as a spiritual person, as a colleague or as a business person, business lady or businessman, or as a community worker, as a husband or as a wife, or as a son or as a daughter, or as a brother or sister, any role, what opportunities I do have. And everybody has immense opportunity to make uh, things, make your attitude and identify your attitude in directly connection with your competency. And the last but the not least, you need to have an attitude about my do I need change my paradigms? Do I need to change my negative attitude to positive attitude or productive attitude? Or if I want to get desired result, what type of attitude or paradigm I need to have? Like Stephen Covey always emphasized in the book on seven habit and eighth habit about changing the paradigm, about the changing of paradigm shift. That's very important for us to achieving or see the desired results. So that's all. Discussion is directly linked with the attitude in connection with building the competency. So your attitude is number two, important for building your capacity. The number three is the skill, which is directly linked with your competency. Of course, skill. If you are an artist, how good with your brush stroke while you are doing a painting or you are drawing something, or how good you are a technician to fixing or repairing phone or machine or TV, how good you are when you are using some software skills, some building, developing the websites or IT related thing. So these are all skills is definitely is for improving your skills, and that directly link with the competency. It's also related with the question which I asked earlier, that do you need a honest doctor or do you need a competent doctor? So that doctor, if I would be that doctor, so my number one question would for me that uh, how I can improve my skills or develop my skill as a doctor more. There is always space to improve by development and research mindset as well. So we have to upgrading our skill, and if you will not upgrade your skill, then this people will reject you. People can fire with you, and you will be obsolete from your current department, from your current office, because after every um, few decades you require the new skills, because old skills will be obsolete, they will be finished, they will be no longer in your society, and you need to replace with the new skill. 90% people don't have a capacity to change themselves with the change of the era, but the 10% people always go into the next era. They are ready to go into the next era. They are ready to go to the next generation to develop the new skill or new mindset. They are always ready to build more competency. Look at now everything is going online nowadays. If the person who do not know how to operate the computer, how to operate the smartphone for their productivity, imagine how the pathetic their life in COVID-19, when they cannot go work. Or so that's a more important thing, that the competency is so important for our development, and especially when we don't have a digital competency nowadays. So this is a so important and crucial thing, that the skill must be developed while we are building our capacity, our credibility. It is also important, the number four factor, about knowledge, that the knowledge is so important. Knowledge about my field, knowledge about my industry, knowledge about the overall picture in which I lie. Like, for example, if I'm a secretary, if I'm a PA, personal assistant, or if I am an executive office manager, in these roles, what the overall development has been done internationally, and do I know about how there are modern way of managing the files, how there are more modern methods to write a letter, how different way of managing the office, different section in a modern um, way. So these are the important things I need to have knowledge, and why my industry, my field is so important, and what it can impact on my organization or on my career. So these are more important things you need to know. So for example, if you are a business executive or business professional, you need to have a proper information in a knowledge way, in a deepful way about your field, not on a superficial level, not on a surface level, but in a deep level. In a deep level, you have to build or know your knowledge. And number five is which is a last top uh, factor about building your capacity, building your competency, that what style you are using when you are building your skills, your capabilities. You can ask couple of questions about style of your work. Number one, how effective is my current style in approaching the problems and opportunities and interacting with others? That's the number one question. So this is a style. Many people have a different style to approaching the problem. Some people see the problem as a worse thing. Some people see the problem as an opportunity. Some people see when they are interacting with their employee like just an employee or as a colleague. Some people, they when they are interacting with other people, they have a mindset they are leader and I'm interacting with leaders. So, and whatever you will have a style of thinking pattern, you will have a different result or this different relationship as well. And also you can ask the question, for example, that what can I do to improve the way in which I got about doing things. So there are a couple of things which you can manage your style. So style makes you unique. Style makes you more confidence and gives you the stand out approach out of the from the crowd where you are dealing with. So this is all about competency, and competency is so important in addition to the um, character. So character is your root, and competency is your branches of your tree of the life. So that's for all today about this was a part two. And next Sunday I will bring a new topic from lessons from the eighth habit. But if you want to teach you or help you or communicate with you some other ideas from the seven habit book or from eighth habit, let me know. I'm happy to bring that content for you. So from today, if you have any question, please let me know. I will try to answer it. I will try to, or if you have a new story you want to share with me, or you want to share with other audience uh, on a Zoom, you can shout, you can speak.
I have a small business and it's in the experimental stages. Um, and I had a customer call me wanting to know if I could do something for her. And it was something that I hadn't gotten to that level of training in the business. And so I was trying to explain things to her where I am coming from and where I am going. And she got highly insulted, wanted to know how could I have a business if I didn't know how to do everything. So the more I tried to accommodate her in some way, the more annoyed she seemed to get. And she hung up on me. So I was kind of bothered by that,
Mm.
but I let it go. And she called me back in about a month and she said, I really can't find anyone to do what I want done. And so she did apologize. And I ended up giving her, we worked on a smaller project.
Hmm.
And now she's pretty much a steady customer. But she still keeps asking me, when am I going to reach that top level? And I've told her, it's not like something you learn overnight. It's a process. And it's like going to school for so long and earning a degree. So I was glad that she came back, but with the way that she was with me, I'm pushing myself more and more now to get to that upper level.
Excellent. Yeah. Um, so if you are trying to build that business on your services or you are selling the product, you need to make sure that you are giving an impression to your customer or your prospect about that you have a integrity, you are committed with your business, and your business is a really important to serve a certain type of customer. And how you are serving, you have also capability, and
Right.
that capability, if you have developed already, that's fine. But if you are not confident, you must go online, find relevant certificate or online. There are so much free information or paid courses are there based on your availability of time. You need to learn that. That will help you more competency. It will give you the wisdom to impress your customers so that they can buy your product or service. Otherwise, obviously, it's a challenge, uh, and because but that is more important, that how good you are in your selling, not as a competency, but commitment, but with the philosophy of your business or services, what you have started. That's more important. So because more you attach with your emotionally attach with your services or product, more chances you will build the competency more easily. And if you do not have attachment, if you do not have such a character that you don't love your selling the product or service, then it will be difficult to learn about how to sell, why to sell about your product or service. So that's why you need to follow your voice. And if your voice is not matching with your new business, then I think it's better if you can do any other service or product. Don't waste your time in those things which you don't have uh, emotional connectivity in terms of learning and in terms of attachment with that thing.
You know what, Cynthia? I have to commend you. The first thing you did in your business was you built a relationship, which is the most important thing, I believe. You didn't have the product. I mean, she basically asked you for a product you're just not selling. And you still tried to connect with her. You were honest and you said, listen, I don't actually do that, but I'm willing to look into it. I'm willing to try. I'll find out. And she's frustrated and she says, you know what, I don't need this, goodbye. That's her, that's her character. But interestingly enough, a month later, who does she call back? She calls you, because you took the time, the patience, and the honesty to just be straightforward with her. And then you are also willing to go out there and learn and give it a shot. And that's kind of a big deal, because that's building that relationship. And now she sees that you're investing in her in something you didn't even do.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something you didn't have to do. And you are learning with her, and she's giving you something. She's going to make you level up. She's like,
Right.
hey, and leveling up is a big thing. I love people that level me up. I do. Like,
Yeah.
if somebody, I'm in insurance and I focus on life, home, auto, just your basic stuff, but I don't do business policies, and I'm not in that department. But if someone said, well, I want you to do my business policy, I want you, I'd have to be honest and say, well, I've never done one, but I can get with my team and see about somebody walking me through and learning that. And if they were like, yeah, I'd appreciate it if you would, you have all my other stuff, I expect you to do that, I would like that. I would be like, well, okay, because it gives me a chance to learn something I don't know, get
All right, I
into.
just lost my volume here. Oh, no, I got it.
Excellent.
Good.
Thank you.
But you got to learn something you didn't know. I think that's kind of neat, that relationship that you
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
And she's a steady customer for what I can do while I'm working on things that I need to learn and remember and improve on, so that I can sell her what she wants. So we both have a gain here.
That's
Good.
neat. I
Good.
like that story.
Excellent. Yeah, important. There is building relationship factor is so important when you have to sell your product, and people, they come back to you. That's right. If, because they have sensed your character, your honesty, your integrity when they come across first time. Even it happens with me many times when many people, they contact me, and for some reason, if they did not make any deal or with me, but later on they reconnect with me, or even I reconnect with them, uh, and then they sensed that uh, that integrity, that honesty which we have on a first meeting over the phone, or maybe through email, or maybe one-on-one as well. So that really help. Yeah, in business, relationship is so important nowadays. Even with the networking, when you try to use the networking skills, and that networking skills actually is all about the building relationship. And once you people know you, who you are, and how you have a good, not only product, but as a person you are good, honest, and you will give a great advice, or you will really help them, then they will come to you, they will send you the referrals, uh, they will be your loyal customer, or loyal friends as well. So that's absolutely well. Thank you so much for today. I hope nobody has more question or any sharing story in this topic. So I'm going to take a 1 minute or 2 minute break, and then we will start our second section. And that section is related to uh, s- solutions with spiritual intelligence. And today we are learning brand new, um, a brand new topic on relationships. And in our relationships, we will learn negative feelings. In our relationship, which we destroy our relationship. And number one destructive value we have, anger. So today we will learn from psychiatrist Dr. David Hawkins what is anger actually, and what are the dimensions of anger, and how it impacts negatively or any positively on building a relationship. So stay with me for 1 or 2 minutes, and I will come back again. Thank you.
Coffee break.
Right. Welcome to today's session. Today is Sunday, and 28th of March, yeah, 2021. I'm your host, Naraji, and uh, we will discuss today two.
I just can I show you one of my paintings? I made not just the venom. Dada. I made a minion. Dad, come. Look. I made a minion.
Oh wow, great.
Going from a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And a meow meow cat. Meow meow cat. Meow meow.
Oh wow, amazing. Well done. You want to stay here? It's my break time for 1 minute, and then my next class is starting.
I need to stay here. I'm still coming.
Okay, because once I start, then you need to wait for next half an hour. Okay, for again.
And then after that half an hour, I'm done.
Yeah, then I will finish as well. So my next class is starting now. Again.
Not now. It's now 1 minute. And then. I'm gonna make a bunch of patterns.
Okay, so Cynthia, Jenny, you are ready for our second section now?
I'm back.
Okay, excellent. Jenny, you are back? Hi, Jenny, you are back? Okay, let's start it. So my recording is going to start now again. Okay. Hello, hi, welcome to our today's second section. And that second section is all about our continuous series, which is starting. And the main title or theme of that series is Solutions with Spiritual Intelligence. And that spiritual intelligence is all about governing our attitudes and behavior from the core, from the deepest point which we have. And that's our online study circle we are doing for many months. Today we are starting a new series which will cover a couple of parts, possibly five, six parts, and is a part one. And part one is about negative feelings. And we will learn today anger, that what is the importance of anger in building a relationship and managing the anger, or quitting the anger, uh, from the reading we will do from the book The Letting Go. It's a world renowned book uh, from psychiatrist Dr. David Hawkins. We are learning. David Hawkins is a authority, and that authority is all about uh, on spiritual intelligence. That authority is all about on truths, on ultimate reality, which mostly 98%, 99% people don't know. And you are one of the lucky person. I feel myself blessed that we know these truths, and we are starting know it as well, slowly and gradually, by learning and by working on myself. So, uh, Stephen Hawking, he was also called Doctor of Truth because he actually explained the human behavior from from the deepest dimension one can have, and that in form of truth, that in form of so many different dimensions, uh, and 360-degree overview he used to have. He wrote so many books, so many influential books, which are the textbook for the guidings for the psychologist, from psychologist for coaches, from trainer, from psychotherapist. Uh, they do, and we are learning every week something. Like in last 4 weeks, we learn about transformation. Transformation how it is connected with our level of happiness, how transformation is connected with health, how transformation is connected with our wealth or money making, or how transformation is directly important for our inner freedom or state of freedom. So today we will learn about a new series, like I said, and we will learn from for the negative feelings. Negative feelings which you and me or everyone used to have or have every day on hourly basis. Some people have negative feelings all the time. Some people have different levels of negative feelings in a different situation, and some people say that it helped uh, to destroy the relationship actually in a negative way. So negative feelings are always destructive, and it's a break relationship breaker for any level. If you are spouse, if you are a child, or if you are in office, or if you are a community person, in every way, if you are showing your negative feelings, that is going to be a negative impact anyway on the other person. A negative feeling is directly linked the quality of relationship you could improve on that time, instead of showing the positive feelings or positive emotions on that time. And feelings or emotions are the same. If you are regular my watcher or viewer or listener, you know about that map of consciousness by David Hawkins, in which he give different feelings, different vibrations of frequency, a different score to each value, to the feelings and emotions. And we today, because we are learning, start to learn anger, and anger is a problem, and what the anger has an energy level, or it comes here. If you see, it's a yellow. uh, Anger is have a frequency of 150. It's related with the hate emotions, and that hate can be seen, that can be felt, then can be judged your opposite person where you are anger at. So that's we are going to learn anger. So let's there are a few pages. It's not a long reading, so we will try to learn different things from the reading. If you are a Facebook viewer and you are watching me, there is a link on of Zoom. You can come live on the Zoom and see my screen. It will enhance your learning. But if you cannot do, still you can watch me, and my Zoom audience, they can read it for me as well. And I hope that you will listen to them and you will have a good learning uh, by listening experience as well. So let's start with anger, and we will try to learn uh, and understand anger, a deepest dimension, which is a spiritual dimension. And we will make notes as well. We will note down some points, and we will work on ourselves, that what makes me angry, why I was angry, or I do have an anger emotion, and how I can work on this. These are the two, three fundamental questions if you are watching this video. Uh, as a student, you cannot, I'm also as a student, because we are learning from the book. These are not my own content. I'm just a communicator and a helper, not only for myself, but also for you. That let's work together, let's learn together to understanding anger today. So let's start it. I would ask Cynthia if you can start reading it, please.
Anger. The first feelings we will start with are most negative. feelings of hate, malice, anger, rage, revenge, and violence. It is obvious that the underlying fantasy here is to eliminate, banish, kill, destroy, injure, hurt, frighten, and intimidate. The other person's likely response is to avoid us, to hate us in return, and to bring about a counterattack. Lesser forms of anger are criticism, criticalness, resentment, sulking, stewing, and negative judgment about others. The emotional purpose is to punish others, make them feel sorry, try to force them to change their feelings or behavior, make them suffer, get even with them, diminish and devalue them. This, of course, also results in the other person's response of counter criticism, counter resentment, and avoidance.
Thank you very much. It's a great reading. I hope for Facebook viewer or listener, you must have listened this as well. Uh, so anger is a invitation for other to do counter attack on you. Whether you don't have you don't want to show someone that you are angry at him or her or them, they will feel. Anger is something which vibrate, which transfer the negative energy and other person sensed totally. That's a very good experience if you are angry with your spouse or your close relationship with maybe your child. Even you are pretending to be angry or you don't want to show your anger, but other person still feel, because man is our energy, or that energy is positive or negative, the other person will see, no matter if you are not showing or reflecting through your body language, but or other person's uh, being, because they have a conscious, they can sense it, they can feel it, and that's why they will react to you as well. Even if they are not reacting through the body language, still you can feel that they are giving you the counter response. That's how it is damaging. That's how many people, they if they want to become smart or over clever and they are angry for some reason, uh, so other person judge it immediately and very straight away as well, and they do as well, and that's a bridge uh, between both to transfer negative energy, and they will do the pendulum. If you see in our life, many people who have some tussle or tags to have a negative relationship about each other all the time. For example, uh, between competitor, one competitor and other competitor, when they meet each other, when they are communicating, they will always share resentment. They some negative uh, criticism about their product and service and making an impression. I have more product, better product and service through their communication. In our society, for example, I'm not be specific about your culture. It's all about overall phenomena. For example, a wife has a conflict with the mother-in-law, the wife uh, of the husband, and they both have always a quarreling or a conflicting mode, and they show the anger on each other. They try to see that that person I own more, and that person or your son or your husband I own more, and they transfer the energy negatively all the time. And that's why, because whether they show through their body language or not, they come how other person receive very quickly, and they judge that that she is going to give me a tough time because she is going to own my son and she is going to own my husband. And that's happened, and that is a point of contention, that is a point of problem because of angerly feeling about each other. I'm not talking about there's a problem between the both relation. This is because we learn from the society. These are the relations we always learn from our society. That's why we show when they are in a very similar situation. When we used to see these character in our childhood through media or through our own personal experience in our own family, and that's we are repeatingly. There is nothing reality that the mother will say, how you can own my son, and the wife say, how you can own my husband, and both are showing the learned response in a angry and a very indecent way. So that's why that travels all the time, and it foundations the other destructive things, um, and but it has origin from the hate. That's a bad news is. Let's try to learn more thing in anger, and which help us to understand where this anger comes from and how we can more understand well. So if I ask Jenny if she can read it, please.
To handle this area, we have to realize that almost everyone has these fantasies. Playing ostrich with them, thinking that they are wicked or that we are guilty, will not resolve them. We have to come up to the level of courage and look at our worst feelings, admit that they are part of the condition of being human, and remember that we are only held accountable for what we do with them. It is obvious that these negative feelings take an enormous emotional toll on our inner selves. That reason alone is sufficient to warrant looking at them and letting go of them.
Thank you very much. Yeah, you can continue reading, please.
Looking at the feelings on the level of interpersonal relationships, we now discover another law of consciousness. Our feelings and thoughts always have an effect on other persons and affect our relationships, whether these thoughts or feelings are verbalized, expressed, or not. We will not at this point go into the discussion of the mechanics of exactly how this comes about, but it is currently an area of research of modern advanced quantum physics, especially that area concerned with high energy subatomic particles and their relationship to thoughts and thought forms. We can likely intuit the truth of this law of consciousness from our own experience. We generally know, for example, when someone is angry towards us, even if they say nothing about it. Sensing their repressed angry feeling, we might ask, is something wrong? Even when they reply, oh, nothing, we are still aware of the energy of anger and upset.
Thank you very much. It's a great learning. So if you see that there is a law or natural law that's operate in this situation when we are angry, and that law we need to note down as a bottom line in our key points of life, that our feelings and thoughts always have an effect on others person, affect our relationship, whether these thoughts or feelings are verbalized, expressed or not. So that's very important. So many people, they show anger or hate with someone, uh, they actually, what happens, they think that other person is not feeling about that thing, no is sensing about that my feeling, but it happens because that is a law of consciousness. So that's the thing which we need to work on. We need to learn more about our thing, and also it's more important that it is somewhat dismaying to discover the truth of this interfacing at the energetic level, but anyone can discover it by inner investigation. The overall attitude we hold about another person are influencing that other person's feelings and attitudes about us, whether we express them or not. That's he's repeatingly again and again. Now that's a very important point is going to come. And what is that? He writes, psychiatrist David Hawkins writes that women in our society, or mostly society, are more intuitive than men. They are generally more consciously aw- aware that their thoughts and feelings are known by others. True psychics, of course, are merely people who are expert at intuition. So that it here is a point where the gender plays a role as well, uh, in both men and women, when we're talking about anger, due to intuitiveness, intuition we do have. Uh, when first discovering the truth of this, we might go through a sort of a mild paranoia. Paranoia is a psychological condition where you have schizophrenia type of feeling when a person do some those things which is not a part of reality, and which thinks some other way of truth, where we don't have, or that person actually, there is no reality, but the person is saying that there is something which he or she has felt or seen. That's a problem, whether on a mild level, on a strong level, or in a high level. So most everyone is brought up to believe that our thoughts and feelings are private affairs, nobody else business. That all minds are separated, and that emotions happens only within the confines of the body. That's mostly people also think. Now, the very important point is also coming. As we begin to investigate this area, we find that often the set of feelings we hold about another person is mirrored back to us by their attitude, and that when we change our inner attitude about them, their attitude change abruptly. That's a very important point. And that point is, if you want to change a relationship with other person, you need to change the frequency of the energy in a different way, then the other person's being or conscious will receive totally in a different way, so that they will counter back to you the same response. Because remember, the human psychology is so innocent in a deepful way, that if I am showing a love towards you, or or I'm becoming a courteous, or I'm becoming a more affectionate type of thing about you, then you will also give me the same response, or even sometime more greater response as well. So there he's pointing out that you need to change your energy, so that other person will you mirror back, will you give you the back, because like I said, the energy will knock the other person positive energy, and that will unlock uh, that potential, and they will reflect on you as well. So he's also pointing out another point, that we are unconsciously influencing other all the time because of the feelings we hold about them. As we become more intuitive, we will laugh at our formal naivete. And if we research further into the world of world of psychics and parapsychology, we will discover that the thoughts and feelings can be read by expert psychics, even from the other side of the globe. So that's an important development we have learned from here. So let's learn more important thing from paranoia point of view. When the person have some type of psychological illness, how we can respond in that situation. So if Cynthia, if you can read it, please. Yeah, Jenny, you can continue.
Well, how about you, Rashawn? Do you want to read?
Hi, Roshan.
Oh no, I was reading to myself. I forgot to unmute.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So do you want me to go on?
Yeah, please.
Okay. I already did the first paragraph. With observation, it is quite clear that these intensely negative feelings reverberate and boomerang back to us and profoundly affect our relationships. The other person merely mirrors back what we are projecting onto them. People who carry a lot of hatred find that they are living in a hateful world and that lots of people hate them. They see external situations and the world as hateful. What they fail to see is that this entire situation is self-created.
Thank you.
Oh, true.
Really?
Yeah, let's try to learn further. We have a new visitor, Roshan Mendoza. Uh, you can hear us, Roshan?
Yes, I can.
Excellent,
Thank you.
excellent. Are you able to read also that screen? If you are have a capacity to read now?
Yes, I can. I can see the screen.
Excellent. So if you can read it for us, because we are reading all together, so that we can learn more by reading and sharing our voice to other.
Okay. So we have the secret hope that our angry feelings towards others will punish and make them suffer. Actually, we are just providing them with justification to hate us back. We have to live with the fear of their retaliation and our own unconscious guilt, which often results in physical sickness.
Yeah.
It will be discovered that all of our anger and resentment are due to our perception, that is, to the way in which we are viewing a given situation. When the inner feelings are relinquished, the way in which we see the situation changes, and we are often surprised by the abruptness with which feelings of forgiveness suddenly arise and the relationship becomes transformed, even though on the external level we did or said nothing to express this inner change. This happens with great frequency when our intention is to overcome our resentments. A Course in Miracles is based on that precise process of changing our view of a situation by the willingness to see it differently and to be forgiving. This is what was meant by Jesus Christ when he spoke of the miraculous power of forgiveness.
Excellent, excellent reading. Thank you so much, Roshan. So there is a many important point. I will highlight one specific. He says, psychiatrist David is saying, it will be discovered that all of our anger and resentment are due to our perception. That is, to the way in which we are viewing our given situation. And that's important, which Stephen Covey himself is giving the emphasis, and he is saying how we are perceiving the world is our reality, and the other person has a different reality. And if we try to project our perception on other person, that will have a conflict, and the other person has a right to show anger or annoyedness or disappointment from you, because you are becoming a authoritative in your point of view, and you are impacting negatively on the other person by projecting your worldview about your reality upon other. And that's one of the main cause when conflicts happen, when we become angry with other, because we see that why I'm angry, because other person is disabled to understand it, and how other person own view, or naturally it is you are seeing the thing in a different way, and other person is seeing the same situation in a different way. You don't have a right to anger on this. Well, you can convince, you can give a reason, you can give other persons that how you are thinking about it and why you are thinking, so that you and he or she will have on a same page. But you cannot But still, if other person has a different opinion, instead of being anger, uh, there is approach which is a great uh, uh, Jesus Christ mentioned about the power of forgiveness. He was one of the greatest being on this planet who give the miraculously teaching to the people that they must have a power of forgiveness rather than to become anger. But if you see the power of forgiveness, what the energy is there, let me show you. Forgiveness, if you see here, um, here. So forgiveness is here, is around on a fifth higher level of emotion, and which is directly linked with acceptance. It means you are forgiving someone and you have a acceptance as well, and it energy is 350, and you become harmonious with other. So that's a great map we can learn about our emotions from here. And from acceptance, next is a reason, and then you showing the love, then you start to feeling joy and to get the peace, and eventually you become enlightened. Like mostly great people, they become enlightened uh, in mainly on spiritual paths. For example, Jesus Christ in Christianity, uh, Buddha in Buddhism, Krishna in Hinduism, Prophet Muhammad in Islam. So they were at a level of enlightenment, they where they had a full energy of 1,000 or plus, according to that map of consciousness. I think this is the A Course in Miracle. That is a book. I was Google uh, uh, that term, A Course in a Miracle. I did not read that book, but it looks like it's a great book which talks about Jesus Christ and his wisdom and teachings, and then the miraculous power of forgiveness, which Stephen David is referring in that. Uh, and the last paragraph, from the anger point of view, he is showing that interestingly enough, there is a scientific basis of Jesus Christ admonition to blessed and loved our enemies. On the energy level, let me fix my screen. It's okay. Sorry. Okay. So okay, let's. I will request to Jenny if she can read it for us.
Interestingly enough, there is a scientific basis for Jesus Christ's admonition to bless and love our enemies. On the level of energy, the lower feelings have a lower vibration frequency and lower power. When we are in lower energy states such as anger, hate, violence, guilt, jealousy, or any other negative feelings, we are physically vulnerable to the other person. In contrast, forgiveness, gratitude, and loving kindness have a much higher energy vibration and much greater power. When we shift out of a lower to a higher energy pattern, we create a protective shield on the energetic level, as it were, and we can no longer be physically vulnerable to that person. When we're in a state of anger, for instance, we're vulnerable to the energy depletion brought about by the other person's counter anger. Paradoxically, if we really want to affect other people, then we ought to really love them. Then their anger at us will boomerang back upon them with no effect upon us. This was the wisdom of the Buddha statement in the Dhammapada. Hate is not conquered by hate. Hate is conquered by love. This is an external law.
Thank you very much. It's a great learning. So if you see that the solution or remedy or treatment of uh, of the anger is the love. Love is a so great healer. We learned in a couple of weeks ago about how fear and the guilty can be healed through the power of love as well. The same thing, the love is also the treatment or a healer of anger as well. So more you have an angry feeling, more need to do the love with the same person in at which you anger. Deliberately, you need to have a power of choice, that you have a capacity to show your love. And once you show the love over the anger to other, the other person will respond you with the same vibration. But the more important and tricky thing is, you should have a power of showing your love to other when you were angry. For example, I will quote you a common incident. For example, when you are showing a anger to your child who did something wrong, and instead of showing you the anger, if you decide that you need to show the love to your child instead of being anger, how you will change your angry mood to the loving mood immediately, right? And by choice, right? And what response that child can have? Of course, the same. Instead of being a child will anger at you back, obviously he will respond or she will respond positively and happily, or saying, "Oh, mom," or "Oh, dad," and then the relationship will be more stronger. And that's a power of love, and how we can overcome and replace. That is a teaching given by all great enlightened people. Uh, Buddha, Jesus Christ, Prophet Muhammad, Krishna, um, and many many others as well. Uh, so that was topic for today. It's anger. We will continue to read the next emotion. I think which is probably a guilt in connection with the relationship. So remember, we are learning these emotions and details in building the relationship, in mending the relationship, in repairing the relationship. So we are trying to understand these emotion first, and connection with the how it's negatively or positively impactful on the relationship which are dear to us. It could be the relationship with husband and wife, with children, with your friends and family or relatives, with your boss or with your employee, or with your community worker or office colleagues, or as a political worker as well. If you belongs to a party, uh, party A, and you have a different agenda of political party B, still you need to show these things. But unfortunately, in our political parties, there is a very less tolerance uh, or level of acceptances. We always show anger when we see the other party, political party, because we have seen the politics not as a service but our personal gain. And it becomes, when it becomes a part of ego, then we show always anger. If you see the search on YouTube and see the parliament members are fighting with each other, you will literally see and amazed that how one party people, they are angry on other party people. For example, I will mention the recently bad incident, unfortunate incident in USA, when the people of one party attacked on a parliament uh, because of some reason. So they were showing their anger and blah, because of the resource which they used to have or they had. They were inculcate, and they start to show, and that becomes disaster, or a very bad uh, incident. So that's just a one example, or one nation in other against other, when they protest violently, when they respond violently with anger, then obviously the other people, the other group, the other party, the other country or other nation, they respond you back as the same thing. That's why it's happening between USA and Chinese. That's happening between Israel and Palestinian. That's happening between Pakistan and India. That is happening between Russia and America. That's happening with South Korea against North Korea. That's it's so gone. There is no list on a nation level because we, as a nations, have so much anger because we see the reality in a different way, and we force the other nation to see the reality from our eye. And if you don't see the reality which we are seeing, we have a right to protest against you, bash against you, and even we can find the other ways to harm you. So that's a very egocentric and personal gain of games we play with each other on a private level, on in a family level, in companies, in organizational, when we leg pulling of my colleague in my office, and at the same time on the nations level as well, we leg pull each other's nation. So that's about the anger. If you have any question, you want to share something, please share with me, share with people who are watching or listening us. Otherwise, I will close this broadcast and we will come next week.
So, what is the difference in being angry or being the same thing?
Uh, um,
The way you respond.
I, I think the both are the same type of thing with a different level of degree. If we, I will become extreme anger and will try to destroy the other person's or hit physically or continuously doing a mentally abuse or maybe physical abuse or torturing someone or banging or bashing the physical things in the room and blah. Obviously that's a very high degree of level, that's abuse. That is going to be a sin or a or a crime as well actually. But obviously that's a roots, it is anger. And obviously the foundation of that behavior is desire or fear or some guilty, grief, apathy, shame on inferiority complex. These are all these reasons, one or many reasons it could be, of course. But we need to move to the next one, which is even being angry is not very, should not be seen a very bad way, because at least that person is not um, hypocrite. Like if I'm showing my anger to someone, to my dear one, and the other person understand me, and I'm showing my anger in a decent way, at least I'm showing my little frustration, not to harm to other. That's okay. That's why its energy is which map on the conscious, which is on the screen, is 150, which is greater than fear, than grief, than being in a guilt, than to being in a shame. So I anger is good from other lower values or emotions as well. It's not, but mainly thing is we should not mad like you're saying. So mad is something which is a extreme way of anger. So we need to turn into acceptance. We need to turn into love, joy, and peace as well. Oh, when you have a mercy on your, not even mercy, sympathy and love towards your enemy, even like great people they used to be, or even in a modern age, you see around many people, uh, they always show the love towards their enemies or the people who can destroy or who can torture them, who can backbiting, but they always show loyalty in their absence, that they mention uh, great things about their enemies, and these are the great qualities uh, one person must have if they want to become a true success in this world. So,
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you very much. And if you haven't joined my YouTube channel, I would request you. You can uh, join my YouTube channel. There is a link on under my broadcasting. You can visit my blog as well. And if you want to suggest something, you want to comment something, you can write here. But if you are watching my recording, I would ask you, will you choose a person who have a great character, or will you choose a person or doctor for your surgery who have more expertise? So you can write in details as your answer, and I have already answered in my early transmission as well. So thank you so much, and I will see you next Sunday with a new topic and with a new excitement. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Take care.
Mary. Bye, Cynthia.
Bye, Jeannie.
Oh. Hello, hi, welcome to our today's second section. And that second section